Marilyn Horne Museum and Exhibit Center is part of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. It showcases the personal collection of Marilyn Horne, who was a very famous mezzo-soprano who retired from the operatic stage in the late 1990s. Born in the Great Depression in 1934. She writes that, Pennsylvanians have a sort of inherent can-do spirit that's sort of built in, and especially when you're born in a small town and you live in the countryside, you tend to be able to face adversity. You tend to be much more adventurous, and I think she recognized that was very formative on her as an adventurer, as someone who was willing to go out and travel the world and see what the world had to offer, and it really helped boost her career. I love museums and I love the arts. I opened the Bellagio Resort in 1998, and within a few years became the director and then eventually became the corporate curator for a time for MGM Resorts. They had a collection of over 1,500 artworks spread throughout their hotels around the world, and I managed that collection for them. I ended up going to Florida. I had an opportunity to work for the Walt Disney Company, and that was actually the last place where I lived before I came to Bradford. I had reached a point in my life in my early 40s where I was ready to really settle into a much more quiet life. So I had a difficult decision to make. The day that I left Florida, as I was driving up, it was probably about 95 degrees. It was early May, and I literally was rolling backwards almost through the seasons as I came up north, and the weather started to cool off, and you got into the lush green as you sort of moved into West Virginia and crossed the border over into Pennsylvania. And I didn't feel like I was leaving anything. I felt like I was coming home. It felt right. McKean County is right smack on the edge of the Allegheny National Forest, which really puts us in a wonderful position for all kinds of outdoor activities. If a person enjoys fishing and hiking and hunting and cross-country skiing and rock climbing, this really is a paradise. And then on top of that, for people that are into more cosmopolitan sort of activities, we're literally just under 3 hours from Toronto. We're an hour and a half from Niagara Falls, maybe about an hour and 20 minutes, to downtown Erie, Pennsylvania, and 3 hours to Pittsburgh. So we are literally surrounded by all kinds of cities, millions of people, but yet we get to live sort of in this, wonderful little cradle, that's far away from all the noise and all of the fuss of city life. But again, when you live in a city and you're accustomed to spending an hour in the car a day to maybe go a few miles back and forth to work, when you come to a place like this, it is so incredibly refreshing to be able to jump in the car and drive an hour and see incredible scenery and sights along the way. Discover the little towns, find a place to eat. It's all about discovery. If I had one desire, it would be that other people like myself who have been living in metropolitan areas that are burnt out would recognize, we want you here. We need you here. Bring your talents, bring your imagination, open up a business on Main Street, be part of the community, and enjoy this lifestyle that we have.